Okay, welcome to Tech Turks. Today we have Okechukwu Ofili of Okada Books, an online platform for people who write and people who want to read. So, Okechukwu, welcome to Tech Turks, and tell us more about Okada Books and how it started, how long it has been, and what's happening there.
Okay, well, Okada Books is a platform that we created in 2013 to make it easier for authors to publish and readers to access content. I created it with my co-founder, Jude Woko. It was a part-time project for about 4 years, and it wasn't until last year that I quit my job to focus on Okada Books full-time. Since then, we have had close to about 240,000 registered users on the platform and over 1 million book downloads on the platform. So we know that Nigerians are reading, even though there is a myth that Nigerians don't read. But our platform, through ebook distribution and mobile phone penetration, have been able to prove that that Nigerians are reading, and that's what we are all about, just getting books to Nigerians.
This is really exciting stuff. So, when I think about ebooks, I always think of Amazon or iBooks, exactly. So, Okada Books, I'm a writer, and I want to publish my book, and I want to do it through Okada Books. What's the difference between Okada Books and Amazon, and why would I go to Okada Books as a Nigerian person instead of Amazon?
Perfect question. It's local adaptation. Amazon is set up for the UK and the US, so what you find is that you have a lot of authors that if they manage to put their book on Amazon, they can't get paid because they don't have tax IDs. You need a tax number, or they don't have US bank accounts. So we have a situation where one of our top-selling authors on our platform his name is Musa Ajayi. He writes romance novels in the Hausa language. He tried to put his book on Amazon, and Amazon didn't accept it because it was written in Hausa and they didn't understand it. So he ended up coming to Okada Books, and since he's been on our platform, he has sold over 4,000 copies of his book for 200 naira each. It's not like he's selling it for a large amount, but this is somebody that sells fruits in Nasarawa State, went to Amazon, couldn't put his book on, but he came to Okada Books and he gets paid directly into his bank account. So we have a local interest, local payment solutions that work for our authors, and we cater to Hausa, Pidgin, Igbo, Yoruba. So that's what makes Okada Book unique from an Amazon or Kobo.
If I decide today that I want to write a book, I want to write my memoirs, and I can write it. So once I've finished writing it, what do I do? Do I have to go through any
steps
to ensure that, for example, there's no obscenities and it meets public requirement or so?
It's great. So there are two things you can do. The first one is you can go to a traditional publisher, have them edit it and run through it and make it perfect. Or you can go and you can put it out there for the world to see, let people give you feedback on your book, and then you take the feedback and then you revamp your book. The problem is that Nigerians are stuck on the first part, where they look for traditional publishers. We don't have enough to cater to 180 million people, so they end up not telling their stories. And what we found by and large is that with Okada Books, we are simplifying the publishing system. You bring out your book, put it out there, let people criticize, let people see it, even though it's not perfect, and then you start editing it as you go. And we offer editing service and publishing services. We did a manuscript competition this year, and we got over 1,134 entries. So there are people that have these stories that they want to get out there, but they are hiding on their computers or somewhere. So we try and encourage people to bring it out, and that's what another thing that Okada Books offers that is quite unique.
How do you keep it going? How do you make it self-financing so you won't run out of resources?
So currently, for the past, when we had it as a part-time project, Okada Books was growing 2 times year on year in terms of users and revenue. So this past year, we've tried to work to accelerate the growth, so improve the software, do some growth hacking experiments. So that has taken a lot of money and investment. We've raised over close to $105,000, and we're about to close out on $150,000 to make it.
Is it external
funding
or internal? When I say internal, local, Nigerian.
Local.
100%
has been local. And
I like kind of stories. Local, not the international ownership,
Yeah, we tried international. They don't yet. But we make money off of we take 30% of every book sale transaction. We also make money from branding and partnerships. People that want to work with us to organize literacy outreach. We also make money by offering services, editing, book cover, design services. So those are some of the ways that we make money.
So what's the workforce behind the Okada books? Because especially when you have a free service like editing services for people who, so if I write a book, right, of course, in fact, I have a diary, but if you look at the grammar there, it will require a lot of editing. So how many people do you have doing this kind of thing? Is it automated, or is it real people reading it?
Okay, so we have 3 key departments. We have a marketing, tech, and customer service department. So tech team, we have about 6 people on the tech team. Marketing, about 4. Customer service, about 2 to 3. All local based. In terms of the services, we don't house in-house editors. We have people that we contract out, so they execute it and we get a percentage of it. So Okada Books is sort of a conduit where people come in. If they're looking for cover design services, we say, hey, you can use this person, and we get a percentage out of it. So that's how we keep costs low, but we're still efficient in our execution.
So I like the whole idea of, moving people from paperback, very expensive books to that new digital way of doing things. Are you doing anything in that space?
Yes, we have. I mean, we've worked and talked to universities. It's been a slow process.
Universities will be.
Because they're like, we love it, but the bureaucracies to actually get it executed has been difficult. But that doesn't stop us. We are currently working with Teach for Nigeria right now. We know there is a book difficulty. Their teachers go out to Kaduna, Ogun State, Lagos State schools, and the children don't have books. And you have students that are in primary 4, primary 5, they can't even say the alphabet. So currently we're in the middle of a book drive. We just started about last week. We raised 750,000. People are donating books from all over the world. But also we are working with Teach for Nigeria to find out how we can fix their problem using our digital platform. So part of the experiment with the whole book drive is to see the solutions Okada Books can give these teachers. Part of what they've said is there's a lot of foreign books in the system. So you have a situation where you're saying A is for apple and the child has never seen an apple before. We should be saying A is for amala.
Exactly.
And they
yes.
they amala for lunch. So what we want to do is we want to take these books and want to see how can we rewrite them for the Nigerian context. So that's part of what we are doing. But the first stage we are doing right now with Teach for Nigeria is the book drive. And then we want to create a system where we don't have to work through government agencies because there's a lot of bureaucracy, where we just create these free resources. Students can go there on their mobile devices, any website, and they can just access this content for free. That's part of what we
So if I want, what device do I need to access Okada Books today? Is there an app, or is there you have to use a reader to do it?
It works on any smartphone and any website. However, that means that we are catering to just 30% of the mobile internet phones that are available. The 70% gap is for the people using feature phones, and which is one of the things that we're working aggressively towards, because our website doesn't really work. It's not optimized for Opera Mini, which 70% of Nigerians are utilizing. So what we want to do is to ensure that within the next few months, and that's part of the money that we're raising, we make the app and the website reading process work on any device, such that that person in the north or in the southeast that wants to read it and doesn't have an expensive smartphone can access our content.
So I mean, like, you also have these ebooks that are actually cheap and cheerful as well. Do they work through on them?
Yeah, we're not into the hardware.
Okay, I know.
Currently, but we want to ensure that it works across
all platforms.
Once it works on future phones, it will definitely work on those devices.
I'm just thinking about the screen size and the comfortability of the experience. Is that what we want? Do people use their phone to read, especially those size phones?
People use their phones to do many things in Nigeria. I look at it as when people say, "Do Nigerians read?" I always say it's like asking the question, "Do Nigerians eat?" Because if you see a child on the street that hasn't eaten for days, you're not going to go and say, that person has a food eating problem, or does that child eat? What you will do is you work and you will get that child food. And if that child wants to get the food, anything you give him, he will use it to eat. So it's the same way we have, our minds are hungry, right? And if you give a child the opportunity to read and he can get it on their phone, like when you talk to Teach for Nigeria, for example, these kids want to read, they don't have it. So you give it to them and they would make it
consume
work.
it.
They will make it work.
So final question on gender. How many people publish? How many people publish and how many people read? What's the
Females dominated.
Females dominated.
Females
right?
win in every
Yeah,
aspect.
okay.
Their females are the top authors. They are the top readers. It's about 60%, 40% female, male. 75% 18 to 34-year-olds on the platform occupy 75% of our user demographic. So young females are dominating.
Dominated.
Currently.
Okay, thanks for coming on Tech Talks, and then we'll continue the conversation offline.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Awesome.